Creation, fall in the garden, Cain and Abel, the flood, Tower of Babel, unification of Upper and Lower Egypt by Pharaoh Menes, Old Kingdom in Egypt, first intermediate period in Egypt, Minoan culture, call of Abram, God's covenant with Abraham, Hagar and Ishmael, Sodom and Gomorrah, birth and sacrifice of Isaac, the Middle Kingdom of Egypt, Joseph as a slave, famine in Egypt, 12 tribes of Israel, second intermediate period in Egypt, the Code of Hammurabi, Hyksos invasion of Egypt, early New Kingdom in Egypt, Moses' birth, the plagues in Egypt, the Exodus, 10 Commandments, Mycenaean culture, Amenhotep IV and monotheism, the reign of Tutankhamun, later New Kingdom in Egypt, the Trojan War, Phoenician civilization and the alphabet, the Davidic kingdom, Solomon's reign, Israel divides into 2 kingdoms, Homer and Greek mythology, the Olympics, the founding of Rome, Greece colonized and democracy begins, Israel and Judah fall, prophets of God, Roman Republic developed, the Persian Wars, Pericles and the Peloponnesian Wars, Greek philosophers, Nehemiah and the Jewish return, Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great conquers Egypt. Architectural advances in Rome. Rome rises to world power. The reign of Julius Caesar. Egypt falls to Rome. The reign of Caesar Augustus. The birth of Christ. Ministry of John the Baptist. The ministry of Christ. The crucifixion, resurrection, and ascension of Christ. Rome burns, Nero persecutes Christians. The destruction of Jerusalem. Pompey burns. The split of the Roman Empire. Constantine and the Edict of Milan. First Council of Nicaea. St. Augustine converts to Christianity. Barbarian invasion and the Vikings. St. Jerome completes the Vulgate. The Council of Chalcedon. The end of the Western Roman Empire. St. Benedict and monasticism. Justinian the Great. Mohammed and Islam. Charles Martel, Pepin the Short, and Charlemagne. Alfred the Great. Otto I and the Holy Roman Empire. The East-West Schism. The feudal system. William the Conqueror and the Battle of Hastings. Cathedrals in Europe. The Crusades. St. Francis of Assisi. The Magna Carta. St. Thomas Aquinas. Marco Polo. The 100 Years' War, the Black Death, Joan of Arc. The Great Papal Schism. John Wycliffe and John Huss. Prince Henry the Navigator. The fall of Constantinople to Muhammad II.
Gutenberg prints the Bible. The Renaissance. The Inquisition. Columbus sails to the New World. Martin Luther begins the Reformation. Magellan circumnavigates the earth. Ulrich Zwingli and the Anabaptists. The Act of Supremacy.
John Calvin and the Institutes. Cortez, De Soto, De Leon, Coronado, the Spanish explorers. The Council of Trent. John Knox, the Scottish reformer. Explorers of the Northeast, Cartier, Champlain, and Cabot. Raleigh settles Roanoke. Jamestown, founded in Virginia. The Mayflower lands at Plymouth.
The Pilgrims build Plymouth Colony. Massachusetts Bay Colony, home of the Puritans. Roger Williams, founder of Rhode Island. Salem witch trials. 13 colonies formed. The First Great Awakening. Colonial trading with England. The French and Indian Wars.
Parliament acts unjustly. The First Continental Congress seeks peace with Britain. The war for independence begins. British lose at Bunker Hill. America declares its independence. Washington commands the Continental Army. Winter at Valley Forge. Yorktown and the Treaty of Paris.
The Constitutional Convention. America's founding fathers. Washington, our first president. The Louisiana Purchase from France. Lewis and Clark Expedition. The Second Great Awakening. The War of 1812. The Missouri Compromise.
The Monroe Doctrine. Traveling the Erie Canal. Jacksonian democracy. The cotton gin establishes the South. Slavery in the South. The Cherokee Trail of Tears. Remember the Alamo. Westward expansion.
The War with Mexico. 49ers and the California Gold Rush. Opening the Oregon Territory. Lincoln, our 16th president. The War between the States. The Battle of Gettysburg. The great generals of the War between the States. Completion of the Transcontinental Railroad.
Reconstructing the South. Black leadership emerges from the South. The Age of Industry. The Battle of Little Bighorn. Cowboys in the West. The Spanish-American War. A president named Teddy. And immigration to America.
Wright brothers and the other inventors. The Great World War. The Roaring Twenties. The Great Depression. World War II, the biggest war. Cold War, Korea and Vietnam. The Space Race. Modern America. Yay!
Yay!